The Pot With No Name, take 3.
Out of the chamber, at the top of the talus slope. And we're now at where we were working last week. And basically what we did last week, we drove these 2 scaffolding bars vertically into the ground.
Just let me now.
So last week we drove these 2 scaffolding bars vertically downwards. I think they were 11 feet long, roughly, and so quite a length of them are actually buried in the talus slope. And then we put one across horizontally to help support them. And then below them here, we put horizontal boards. Each one is a bit of a bugger, that job, because each one had to be cut individually to its own length because of the uneven sides. So we built these up, and as we were doing it, we were filling behind here with concrete and stone, and we basically built it up right to this level and back to underneath the concrete lintel, just behind you, Pete.
Yeah. Now, above your head, that doesn't look too bad, Stuart, does it? Those are the things that did look a bit iffy, but...
Yeah, and we've also put this scaffold
across
at 90 degrees to these across into the roof of the chamber over there.
Yeah.
Extra support as well.
Okay.
But they don't look too bad, actually.
No, I think we can, and you can avoid them. You don't have to go near them, do you? Right. A little bit about one.
So we built this wall up to the left and then filled up behind it with concrete. And basically all the loose stuff now is stable, and all this section of the shaft now is pretty stable.
Okay.
I had sorted out last week what we were doing to stabilise down below. We then came up here and we decided that this lintel needed some extra support, particularly underneath. We had an attempt at fixing some shuttering to it last week and we were pretty unsuccessful. So the plan today was to come back, fix this shuttering underneath, which also has a flat bottom to it, and we basically packed the inside of that underneath where that polythene bag is with stone and concrete right up to just above the level of the lintel. The polythene bag, of course, is on the top to prevent water dripping onto the concrete and washing it all out. So we've also, there's a little gap underneath this lintel on this side, again with loose clay behind it, and we put, well, Jed has put a reasonable sized boulder in there and mortared it in, and again polythene bag to stop the water washing it out while it sets.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Take 2.
Right, well here we are, we've now finished concreting the ring for supporting the tube. Last week the week before last we did the last section of the ring. There's 2 layers of lintels and concrete in there, and as you can see, this is the ring sits nicely on there. Okay, we've got to, before we concrete round it, we'll have to fill the little corners in there, but I think it sits in there very nicely, and hopefully in a week or two's time, when we get the main part of the tube up here, we'll be able to set it in place and backfill around it.
And there's been talk out here, Jed, about people of a certain size not being able to fit down this tube.
Well, all I can say is, if they're such fat bastards, they don't deserve to get down here anyway.
Now you realise we've got this on film.
Indeed, I'll stand by it. I don't think there's any problem there. Good.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Fall through.
Okay. Do you think there's any chance of putting a ladder down the inside of the a steel ladder down the inside?
I think there's some opportunity to do that, but failing that, we'll have to use an electron.
Yeah.
I think we just need to try it once it's in place and see whether the aluminium ladder we've got is too big. It may be too big, but I have a feeling it may just work actually. It's,
and what about over the next couple of weeks? What's the sort of next kind of target?
Well, say main point is arranging transport of the tube up here, and because we're talking about also seeing to the entrance to Christmas Pot, we need to get some more raw materials up, such as concrete, ballast, cement and lintels for Christmas Pot as well. So I think we can get all that lot together in the next week or two, and then it's we can proceed.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Right.